we are fast traveling from the bandit camp up through Slaver's Pass to the Temple of Madness. Now, we're going to do a danger draw, but the encounter that we have here will be this endless labyrinth card that we set aside. So what we're doing is we're going into this endless labyrinth, this maze, to look for a pool, and that pool is actually a void gate. But first, let's do our danger draw. Oh my golly. You do not want to be hanging around in the lowlands. All right, so we have an outbreak. First of all, we are not in a plague space. Our draw of 4 against a danger level of 6 means we will have an encounter. Yikes, with 5 creatures. All right. We don't raise the danger level anywhere, but a lot of plague breaking out in the lowlands. So every place that has a plague gets an additional plague, which means this gets 4, which is at its maximum. If it gets any more, it's going to start spreading. This is at 2, and this goes to 3. We furthermore roll a d6 against this list of locations here. A 3 is, it's a graveyard, right? Nope, the Holy Order again. So the Holy Order goes to 3. It's making me think twice about swinging through here to bring the aristocrat to the East Bridge. Although actually there's a better way to do it. Take a boat so you don't have to run around in this plague area. All right, but more importantly, we've arrived at the Temple of Madness. There are 5 monsters waiting for us. These are Highlands monsters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beginning with a man-catcher. He's got chains. He will pursue you. You cannot flee from a man-catcher if you're in bold stance, which we are because we necessarily have to be because we fast traveled up here. The highest agility will be, let's put him on the Void Witch. She's our tank, if you recall. Look at this weird thing. Weird indeed. A tongue runner. It's like a tongue with a weird helmet and ostrich feet. And again, you cannot flee from it. Highest agility, Void Witch. A gas dreck. All right, this guy is going to be annoying. So gas means everyone makes a constitution check or is poisoned, I believe. I'll verify that in a minute. When you kill it, it explodes and automatically does a point of damage. And because it has slime, anybody who gets damaged by it is slimed and loses a point of agility. So this goes to the lowest agility, and it's going to attack 2 characters. Let me make sure I've got that right. This is one of the new abilities in the Mean Streaks expansion. The monster targets 2 adventurers each combat round, so the 2 with the lowest agility will be the Fishy Confectioner and the Void Witch. So we'll do this just to show that he's attacking both of them. The attack's only a 3, so fingers crossed, let's hope I don't jinx myself. It's not going to hit us. A Hired Guard. How mundane compared to a tongue runner. Now we are indoors, but we are not at a settlement, so it doesn't summon anyone. The highest strength, which I'm assuming, is the Fishy Confectioner. And then finally, a Stealth Dreck. Evade, meaning if you roll doubles with a melee attack, it misses, and taunt means you must attack it. And that goes to the highest perception, which will be the Void Witch or the Fugitive Fop. So the Fishy Confectioner has this to the front ability, which kicks in when she's targeted by a bunch of different creatures, but everybody's going for the Void Witch. Okay, so we will start off with the Fugitive Fop using her weighted pistol. There's no point having this silver shot loaded, right? And there's no goblins or anything. Yeah. If we had goblins, we could throw chicken feed out. We could theoretically smoke bomb our way out of here. And the reason we don't want to use the smoke bomb is it would give them the win. We want to win to drive down the danger level. We're going to be here for a little bit trying to close the void gate to do the quest, so we want the danger level to go down, not to hold at 6. So let's see, the fugitive fop, who we've got a couple of 4s, mainly some 3s attacking us. Let's go for... I don't want to hit the gas strike. I want to ideally... Oh, no. Speaking of the gas strike, let's make our gas check. So it's a constitution check. If you fail, you're poisoned, which mainly sucks because it lowers your hit points. So constitution check against the gas strike for the fugitive fop. Failed, which means poisoned, which means she basically has 10 hit points instead of 12. Constitution check for the Void Witch. I'd kind of like to make this one. A 5, succeeded. Nicely done, Void Witch. For the Fishy Confectioner, a fail. So down from 14 to a 12 until they get unpoisoned. I might be tempted to use the Flash Bomb, but it dazes creatures, so I don't think I'm going to have too big of an issue with these guys hitting me. Some armored fellows, but let's go ahead and take out the man catcher first. Okay, so that is 2 dice against an agility of 8. Here's the power die. That is a hit. 6 points of damage, kills the man catcher. Now the Void Witch, we have our Mystic Shield. This decay could be useful now, but let's get the Mystic Shield up first. That's our main priority. So she is defending. I'm going to try to remember to use these. She's in guard stance. This will be her magic check to use the Mystic Shield. This is her defense. The power die goes to her defense. Her magic is 9. Her agility is 8. And she will be vulnerable without the shield this first turn. So let's hope it fires off. Here we go. All right, so the shield passed. The defense failed, which means she only intercepts 3 damage out of a total incoming of 9. So, ouch, that's 6 points of damage. But we put 5 points on the Mystic Shield. So at least that is going to keep her in the fight a little bit longer, I hope. You know what I'm going to do? There's my interface mod. So I don't forget the Mystic Shield in the future. I mean, I think I only forgot once, but I feel bad doing that. Now, because this thing has slime, the Void Witch is slimed for till the end of the fight, meaning her agility will only be a 7. The Fishy Confectioner will attack with the Black Sword using a strength of 7, but she will be in guard mode. So she's defending with an agility of 7, attacking with a strength of 7. The power die goes to the defense and will attack, not the gastric yet. Let's go ahead and attack this hired guard. Look at all that armor. I wonder if we should use the spiked maul. Yeah, we're going to use this, but we're going to equip the spiked maul instead of the black sword, because the spiked maul, you have to destroy something. Yeah, the spiked maul will ignore a point of armor. The defense succeeds, blocks 4 points of damage, which is all of it. The attack succeeds and does 5 points of damage by ignoring 1 point of armor. That is 1 point of armor. 4 gets through, which kills the hired guard, which is good because the hired guard was going to summon someone, I just now realized, but now he won't be doing that. On to round 2. The fugitive fop firing the... So everything's a 3 now. Just for giggles, let's use the throwing knives against the stilt dreck. So the weird thing with the throwing knives is if we hit, we do damage equal to our lowest die, but if we hit, we can then, as a quick action, do a second attack without a power die. So rolling against agility of 8, That is a clean miss. So much for the throwing knives. The Void Witch, I'm confident that the Mystic Shield will keep us safe. So let's get out the Sacrificial Dagger and let's attack the Stilt Drek. So there is defense. Oh, that was an assault. We will use the assault. Yeah, we'll use the assault because we want to destroy something to heal up. I hope this isn't foolish. So assaulting with an agility of 8, defending with an agility of 8, 3 creatures. You know what? We're going to be on defense. And we're going to stick with... Yeah, so defense using the Sacrificial Dagger. We'll attack the Stilt Drek. The defense succeeded. Blocks 5 points of damage. Nothing hurts. Ouch! Huge miss with the Sacrificial Dagger. If this had been, for instance, the weighted pistol, it would be out of ammo for the rest of the round. On to the Fishy Confectioner, who's now only engaged with the Gas Drek, so therefore has to attack the Gas Drek. If we accidentally kill it, well, it pops and gases, it slimes everyone. Let's go ahead and use the Black Sword, because if we kill the Gas Drek, really it'd be nice to have that Invigorate ability, which gives her extra strength. So attacking with a strength of 7, defending with an agility of 7, the power die applies to defense. The defense succeeded, blocks all the damage, the attack failed. On to the third round of combat. Fugitive Fop will again use the throwing knives on the Stilt Drek. Again, a clean miss. And actually, since it's rolling against a magic of 9, we're going to use the Decay ability. So she is in guard mode. This will apply to that. Her magic check she's using against the Tongue Runner. Let's see. Succeeded at... Nope, she's slimed, so the defense failed. She blocks 6 damage from what she's... Oh, wow, she's going to take 6. Fortunately, the Mystic Shield will save her bacon. This fired off, which corrodes this fella and does damage equal to the lowest single die. So his armor is 0. He takes 2 points of damage. So her incoming damage... she's got 3 3s. She'll use this to block... I'm not sure that it matters. For the heck of it, we'll block the Gas Drek. Now, we've got another 6 points of damage coming in. 5 of it is intercepted by the Mystic Shield. She takes 1 point of damage. The Fishy Confectioner on guard. Attacking with the Black Sword. It has to be the Gas Drek. That is a hit that successfully defends. 6 points of damage against the Gas Drek, kills it, which a couple of things happen. First thing that happens is it explodes and slimes everyone. So exploding is 1 point of piercing damage that everyone takes. There's 1, there's 1, there's 1. But now everybody's slimed, so everybody's slimed till the end of the fight. There's some slime, there's some slime. And now because the Fishy Confectioner killed this, heals 1 wound, which would take, I think actually in this situation where things are simultaneous, the player determines the order. So I will have this fire off, then the Black Sword kick in to heal, correct? If you destroy a monster with this attack, well yeah, you destroy it, then this happens, then you recover the wound. Equal to experience point value, which is 1. All right, so we killed that. We are now invigorated, which is, that's how I tend to feel when I've slain a Gas Drek. Plus 1 strength, and on to the next round. All right, I don't want my Void Witch to die. So, let's see, Fugitive Fop, that has no armor, 1 hit point. Yeah, get in there and just, that's 1 fewer attacker. So take that stupid thing out. Throwing knives. Kill it. All right, we could lose the Void Witch here. So the Mystic Shield wouldn't help me this turn, but I might as well raise it just to be safe. just in case, right? Yeah, unfortunately, you resolve defense first, then whatever your action was, in case of the Void Witch, raising the Mystic Shield would kick in. So her agility is only 7, her magic is 9. I mean, its attack is only a 3. I've got this, come on. She's not, please. And let's see, what do I stand to lose? 2 experience points if I die, which I'm not going to, come on. All right, so she's in defense mode. She's firing off the Mystic Shield just to be safe. Defended with 3, so cut off the 3 points of damage. We put 3 tokens on the Mystic Shield. Now we go to the Fishy Confectioner, who will use the Spiked Maul. Yes, who will use the Spiked Maul. She is invigorated. Her strength of 8 is a miss. All right, so the next round of combat, the Fugitive Fop assaulting with the throwing knives. Missed. The Void Witch luckily has the Mystic Shield, but just to be safe, we are going to put more points into the Mystic Shield. So, defended 1 point of damage, which means she takes 2. The Mystic Shield drinks him up, but the Mystic Shield now adds 3 points. The Fishy Confectioner, hopefully coming to the rescue with the Spiked Maul. An 8 hits. Because she's invigorated, does 6 points of damage, finishes off the Stilt Drek. So I'm super glad that this goes down to 5. We get 2 points of experience and 2 points of gold for the Fugitive Fop. We get 3 points of experience and 4 points of gold, which puts her above her threshold of 10 for being depressed. And experience from 5 to 8, which we'll be able to flip this up. Fishy Confectioner just isn't drawing enough attackers. So a loot roll of 3. We roll 2 dice, and just in case it's not clear, when you make a loot roll, roll 2 and use either result. It's not like we would get 2 pieces of loot. So a loot roll of 3, that hits. Would have hit anyway. A loot roll of 2 for the Fugitive Fop, that hits. So we're going to get a couple of loots. We find, for the Fishy Confectioner, a Dueling Dagger, and for the Fugitive Fop, an Elixir of Life. That sounds yummy. Let's see. Discard this card to recover all of your wounds. That is very welcome. Delicious. Who wants to carry this? Seems like something a Void Witch would have in her pockets. Now, the Dueling Dagger, let's see. It uses agility. When you're on guard mode, yeah. All right, so a Dueling Dagger, when you guard with a Dueling Dagger and you use luck to reroll a die, because if you recall, we can use luck to reroll die rolls, add 1 to the value of the rerolled die. Well, so the good news, this is just stuff we can sell. So Fishy Confectioner, you're going to carry all of our vendor trash. So my immediate concern is we're going to go into that maze and deal with a Void Gate. The Void Witch will shut the Void Gate, but in the process of shutting a Void Gate, you can take what's called Void Shock damage, I think. And this is not a good time for the Void Witch to be taking that damage. So regardless, we resolve this endless labyrinth encounter right here. The twisting passages through the shifting landscape seem endless, and you struggle to keep your bearings in this bizarre nightmare world. One adventurer must attempt a perception test to guide the party through the labyrinth, and we will, of course, have the Void Witch on point. Perception of 8. If you fail, each adventurer is detained. If you fail with doubles, place the party in the maze. So the maze is an extra dimensional space that is not on the map, and it sucks being in the maze because you're subjected to, For one thing, it's perilous. You can't recover wounds, and you're subjected to this terrible void shock. All right, so we don't want doubles. We don't want to fail because we're detained. And after we do that, I think we place a void gate. Let me check our quest. Yeah, after resolving the endless labyrinth, remove the clue token and place a void gate. When you dispel it, then the bandit camp goes up one danger level. All right, these are gone. The slimed is gone at the end of combat. So we need the perception check on the Void Witch to get us through the labyrinth. That is a success. Do we win anything? You'd think you would win something for getting through the maze. Like a prize, you know, a stuffed animal or something. Nope, we just made it through the labyrinth. Now we are placing a void gate. Super exciting. These are color-coded. You can only have 2 void gates per region. So the Temple of Madness has a void gate. So this means a couple of things. I think if another void gate gets placed in the same spot, you raise the danger level. If there are 2 void gates and a third gets drawn, both of the void gate locations raise the danger level. But for a Void Witch, she's a Void Walker. Ignore Perilous. This is huge for a reason I'm going to show you in a moment. And you may use Magic Check for recovery. Also, this Void Gate we can use to travel into this maze, which isn't on the board because it's extra dimensional. Should we put it out there just for the heck of it? When you're in the maze, you can then pop out of it at a random spot. Well, unless you have a Void Witch, in which case the randomness of the spot is mitigated by her ability called Void Walker, meaning you draw a couple of cards, you pick the one that you'd like to emerge at. So we're not going in there right now. That might factor in later. But here's the deal. So that turn is done. For our next turn, if we were to do a rest map action, because remember, we want her to be healed, note that the Temple of Madness, you can barely see it because it's kind of lost in all the pink coloring. It's got that weird little horned skull. That means it's a perilous space. Up to now, I don't think we've been in any perilous spaces. Perilous spaces suck because you go there, you get in a fight, and you can't heal. A perilous space just means go ahead and do your recovery action, or make your rolls, but you will never recover wounds. So the Void Witch ignores perilous, meaning she can rest and recover wounds. And furthermore, rather than rolling against her crappy morale of 6, she rolls against her magic of 9. So we're going to do a map action of resting. Now, the Fugitive Fop and the Fishy Confectioner will not, hey, how'd she get hurt? Will not be able to recover any wounds, no matter what. I think even drinking an elixir of life, I'm gonna verify that in a second. I think anything that recovers, let me verify that, hold on. Yeah, okay, you can recover wounds by drinking elixirs of life and whatnot, and using mend wounds. You just can't recover wounds with a recovery roll, unless you're a Void Witch with Void Walker. So this map action phase is to rest. And I think we're gonna rest in, I don't mind getting in another fight here. It'd be nice to drive the Temple of Madness down to a 4, wouldn't it? Let's go ahead and rest cautiously. Depending on what we draw, we can then decide to try to evade it if we want to. So yeah, we'll rest cautiously. So during this rest action, the Fugitive Fop will use Mend Wounds, make a magic check of 7. If she passes, everybody recovers 1 wound. She passes, so that's that wound there recovered. And now the Void Witch is just down to 7 wounds. Because we're resting, we are no longer poisoned, and the Fishy Confectioner is no longer invigorated. Which means our maximum hit points, oops, she wasn't poisoned, our maximum hit points go back up. And now the main event, the Void Witch needs to shrug off these wounds. Because she's a Void Walker, we're making a magic check. She passed, which means she recovers wounds equal to her magic, which is 9. This is not a settlement or anything, no, but it is indoors. Oh, it's metaphysical. Oops, I hope I didn't cheat. Oh, shoot a monkey.